Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Today podcast. Right now we're going to talk about what to do in the current real estate market.
I'm Bob Nelson, real estate investment broker with Pacwest Real Estate Investments.
And I'm Marcia Edwards, residential broker with Windermere Real Estate. Well, we're trying to find the new normal all the time in real estate. We get traction, we understand what the buyers are doing, what the sellers are thinking, and then all of a sudden it shifts. And that's the excitement of real estate. I think it's fascinating how consumer confidence has influence. Then you're trying to figure out what brought the confidence or the lack of confidence into the room.
Well, it's interesting because it's a continual moving target, and the more political we become as a nation, it's interesting. Something happens, and all of a sudden, we're now focusing on something completely different, and that does have its impact on real estate, on the stock market particularly, but real estate also.
What I think is going on often the times is how extemporaneous the news is, how the news travels quickly, whether it's a horrific shooting, it's the weather, or it's something in the economy, or someone's opinion that gets shouted out quickly. The influence and the impacts are so quick, it's just knee-jerk.
Well, and it's also interesting, way back when, in fact, you've got a degree in journalism, bad news sells. Good news doesn't particularly sell. Bad news is, oh my goodness, the more bad, the more news is being sold.
And it can swing in such a short period of time, but the confidence doesn't swing as quickly. I've seen the residual impact of that bad news is much longer than the actual should be.
Yep.
So it's interesting. Now, in residential real estate in Lane County, we're doing very well in a lot of senses. If you're a seller, we're doing extraordinarily great. If you're a buyer, it's a tough time to be a buyer still.
Well, and it's interesting because as a buyer, you still have the opportunity to buy a fairly large amount of real estate based upon your earning capacity, because the interest rates are so low that if you earn X number of dollars, that covers a mortgage payment that would be much larger. If the interest rate were to increase, that will decrease. So it's a great time to be a buyer.
You need that buying capacity because the median sales price right now is $362,000. Remember when it was under $100,000?
Yes, I can remember when in 1964 it was $64,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I've heard about it.
Well, see, I'm
Just
old.
kidding. Well, there's that. And then the median on list price, the inventory is at $473. So we do have a problem with affordability in this area. We'll talk more about navigating that in today's Market Next program. I'm Marcia Edwards, Windermere Real Estate.
And I'm Bob Nelson, real estate investment broker with Pacwest Real Estate Investments.